y'all. My grown, extended, beautiful family, just thank you so much for the love and support. Y'all been constantly me. Knowing even though we're all going through very intense transformation at this point in time, trust and believe everything that feels stagnant or feel like it's breaking you, it's basically transform you to your highest good, and everything is going to have a positive purpose for taking place in your life. Um, Even when you can't see it, is that. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. If you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are very informative to you, gives you good vibes or inspiration that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath or going through, trying times and needing spiritual guidance or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It is always greatly appreciated. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. The channel I'm using today is Woke Nation. I use them a lot for my meditations that I use a lot. And the music that I'm listening to is 396 hertz. Energy cleanse your home, yourself, negative energies from your house frequency. And I'll post that in the link in the description box below. Turn it up just a little bit so you can hear it. We all need to clear ourselves from toxic and negative thoughts or even feelings or energies. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101, when your bad experience has and will bring you to your highest good. We are all going through different transitions where there's people that you have been connected to for a long time, or your connections growing strain. There's a lot of people that are still connecting with you that you had to see. They always say, when hard times come, people will be exposed for the true intentions that they have. And a lot of times it can be very trying to, it can be overwhelming. It can be feeling like that you feel like you're in a world to yourself. It feels like a nightmare that you're never going to be able to wake up from. But it's like when you're allowing yourself to see what's truly needing to happen. Because a lot of times when we go through these stressful situations where it feels like you have been there for people and, they needed your guidance, they needed your kindness, or whatever you had did to uplift them in that way, that was your blessing of lesson. And just for them, stabbing you in the back or ignoring you when you needed them, that's their lesson of blessing. You should never allow somebody's, bitterness or evilness, stop you from being, spinning out kindness. I was at that point where, I had a lot of people that were sending me positive situations or positive, words of being towards my life. But I also had, somewhat of people, doing things just to try to distract me or try to rub in my face. And those, I can actually say, even though there's times where I just really get aggravated by certain things that has taken place in my life, I can sit up here and say that, they have taught me a lot of, well, good, good, insight on certain things. A lot of times it's like when things are going on, you know, um, it's hard for you to see the goodness out of the situations you may be in. And it's just like there's a lot of people that are having to face things that has really been suppressed in their subconscious. We're going through huge transformations, so there are certain things that we may be scared to indulge in or scared to go forth in, because we don't know what is going to come out of that situation, even when universe is trying to guide you to go a different way. you're scared because you don't know what's going around that way. And it's hard at times because it's like you're supposed to have faith in yourself. You have to have that confidence in yourself. You got to be having confidence in, the universe on what is being guided. Now, I can see if it was, a person that that was trying to say, hey, you need to go down that way. And you don't know what kind of intentions they have. Because sometimes when you're around people and you're very apprehensive about it, like, this could be a person that you really love and enjoy. But then there are certain times where you feel like, oh, I shouldn't say this. I better be careful if I say that. Anytime where you got to watch what you say, that's the type of person you don't never need to be around. Or you feel like even if you're in the same room with them and it makes you just want to jump ship or haul butt the next, opposite direction, that's telling you, hey, I need to reevaluate things, has ran its course. I've gone through it recently. I've been going through it a lot lately. Where it was at that point where I had like what was it, almost close to 1,600, a little bit over 1,600 people on my Facebook, but it was like a lot of things I was holding on for is for ego base, certain things. But then now it got to that point where I started deleting all messages. I started taking people off. Now I barely got even 190 folks. As on my Facebook, and most of them are from YouTube. It's like a couple of them, I can say a handful is from people I grew up with, really good friends, and there are certain ones that I had to break apart from, whether it was family, friends I've learned, I've had since elementary and high school, that I really never thought that I would, see my life without connecting with them in that way. But then when I was dealing with my truth, there was a lot of people that either ignored me or, even when I took them off, my Facebook, it wouldn't even be a full 24 hours yet. And they were already sending me another, friend request. And I said, you must be really watching my page for this not even be, for me taking you off. And, it haven't even been a full 24 hours yet. That lets me know, even though you don't like me, they're going to watch everything you do, and it's just at times where people, there will be certain people that even watch my videos or listening to my videos to see what I'm saying, to see how, oh, let me go ahead and see how I'm going to go ahead and, mess with her mind or try to trigger her or press a button. And it's like, you're getting challenged with that. It could be, your children, it could be, your parents, or, situations that, that are really a sensitive subject for you. And you're going to have people doing that, just like I was saying in my last video. My dad's birthday was just, a few days ago. And I had people that were sending me well wishes, and it was truly appreciating to know that people knew what I was going through. They understood, even though it was a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, because there's people I've connected with when I found out about this. It was some I had bad experiences about, and then I had some that were very good experiences as well. But I try not. They're all in the same. They're life lessons, those things you had to endure. You know, um, and I had to understand, when people try to trigger you or people try to wear things in your face, to rub things in your face, you have to know that they're at a low frequency. They're at a, low self esteem. Anytime somebody's, threatened by your happiness or your progression or your process of your progress, that shows more about them and less about you. And these are the things that are going to teach you to grow. There are certain people that you may click with that time, and it's just like a lot of times now, it makes me feel good because I'm attracting more positive than negative. Every once in a while, I'll get somebody that say certain things, and I'm just like, okay, that just went over my head. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm like, okay, you already know if that gives off a confusing energy for me, I'm just gonna, cut it as a loss and just keep on going. I'm not allowing myself to speak on it. And there were certain things that used to bother me, and I would hold on to that. And that I didn't realize that was the energy that was placing me below where I need to be. And I had to be able to learn that, like, even though it hurts, it hurts, because it's like with my situation being in, it's a very scary situation, because when you have family that are in the public eye, and especially when you never had that connection with them, well, I haven't had connection with them like that, it is very hard. It's very hard because you don't know if people are in your life just because of who you're related to or who you are, or somebody's being really genuine with you. So it is just like, any. it took me a while for me not to have, be mad at certain people that have really tried to hurt me. But those are the people that were sent to me to help me grow. That's just how you have to look at the people that are in your life. Because a lot of times you have to understand when people, talk ill will towards you, or they're hoping, they're praying for your downfall. These are the people that were sent into your life to break you. These are the things that, need to happen to take place. So it's just like when people say something about me, about something, it's just like I've gone through so much, negative impacts in my life, but also a lot of positive impacts in my life. You can come at me with that, and it's just like I'm not even going to respond to you. I'll just block you and keep going on about my way, because I'm not about to put my energy in something about somebody who can't change. And they were speaking to me through ego and pain when I was just reflecting my truth. And and a lot of people are like that when you're dealing with all these things, and it can be very hurtful, about my situation, about me and my family. It was very sensitive to me. But it's just like a lot of times you have to be able to let things go. And something like that, I mean, it is just like anything you have gone through. Like, if you can look at your story about how things have impacted your life in the most traumatic way, and how much stuff you had to deal with on top of that, and you are still here, that's showing you your strength. Like, even though you have gone through these, many heartbreaks, many, deceptive people experiences, where people just really try to break you down, to either, make you question your existence, make you want to not feel like life is worth living anymore. These are the things that's showing you you have the strength to overcome. These are going to be, these were once something that was very hindering to you, but also can be that thing that's going to catapult you into your power of truth, and I had to be able to learn that. And there's sometimes I sit here and I cry, because I feel like, what, life has been so unfair to me. But then it's just look at all the people I'm impacting in my life. Look at all the people that I'm connecting with just because of the situations I've gone through. I'm very humble, regardless of what anybody thinks. I'm very humble, because my situation, even though it was very painful and very traumatic to me, it has brought me towards my choice of strength. We all have a choice to choose. You can choose how you can allow yourself to certain people or certain situations to, um, you know, uh, affect you. It can either, it can really affect you to where you put all your energy into this situation that is no longer needed into your life, or you can allow yourself to see this as a milestone. It's like, yeah, that did hurt me, but allow me to give blessing and forgiveness for that, because it shows me, even though they felt this way about me, or they try to push this stuff towards me, I can still have my power to move on. Not allowing myself to place energy or my thought process or focus in what they try to do to me, because that's what they were hoping for. There's a lot of times people are threatened by your light, people are threatened by your truth when they seen and know that you went through a lot of hell, and you're still trying to find the best out of it. I have to allow myself to try to see the pros and cons of everything I went through. Yes, I lost my father, but it's just, the fact is, even though we didn't never get to physically reunite again, it's like our spiritual connection, our telepathic connection is so strong, and that is more of a blessing to me. So I try to focus on the good within that situation, because if you try to see all the negative in it, it is going to keep you at a low level. And those are the things, everything has a purpose behind it. And it's like sometimes you'll get the answers on why certain things had to take place. And sometimes you just get a blessing throughout just allowing yourself to not stay stuck in that low level frequency that got you on your spiritual path. Because I always feel like, and I say it a lot of times, I feel like, when you get onto your spiritual awakening, that road of journey of spiritual awakening, it had to be something very traumatic. Either you losing a parent like me, finding out the truth about your life, like me, finding out, how long you've been lied to for your whole life, um, or you're going through, a loss. It could be a child or something like that, or you may have cancer, or you may lost a job, a divorce, or becoming homeless. It took something very traumatic to wake up the spirit. That's what all it is. A spiritual awakening is waking up the spirit that you that's been laying dormant. You had to experience a lot of heartache. You had to experience a lot of trauma. You had to experience somewhat of abuse. If it wasn't all of them, it's some of them. And those are things that we had to allow ourselves to face. Like right now with everything that's going on, it's a lot of madness out in the world. People being prejudiced, people, trying to kill off different people for their nationalities, their walk of life, being segregated on who if you change yourself from a female to a male or a male to a female, or you're marrying, same sex. It's always somebody trying to judge somebody, and it's just like only God can do that. I hear a lot of people, God is not gonna like gay people. How you gonna say that? God has made everybody. He didn't just like, oh, okay, if you're this or this of that nature. No, because God still loves you the same. We can't place judgment on ourselves. We can't sit up here and place judgment on other people just because they sin differently than us. I try, I say I'm not perfect, but I've had my time where I've judged people's situation, but then I had to allow myself to really step back and reevaluate myself. Like, don't judge. You see what situation you're in, because people felt like, oh, this is what she deserves, or this is what she don't deserve, and stuff like that. Everybody is going on their life lessons to had that rude awakening of what is taking place in your life, what you need to heal from, what you need to know, what you need to walk away from, what you need to part ways with, what you need to indulge in, whatever it is that's in that positivity, because it's like these bad experiences going to bring you to your highest good. Even though you have gone through a lot of things in your life where you have seen, it was just like a row of a whole chapter of life where it had something to do with sadness, detachment, abandonment, neglect, all those different things, verbal, mental abuse, sexual abuse, emotional, spiritual abuse, all those different things. And yet you're still here. That was our mission. It's like right now we're in that mission to where you are having to truly reflect from the depth of you. Whatever you hold dear is going to be challenged to you. Are you going to allow the things that maybe it could have been a husband or a child that really have hit below the belt with you? And even though you're trying your hardest to stay positive, and that's where your strength comes from. Even when you go through your own madness of chaos that's surrounding you, within your circle, within your element, within your connections, those are the things that are sent to you. And a lot of times I would sit here and I would cry, like, I've been positive can be. I'm trying to stay above water. I'm trying to keep my essence of myself in the highest I can, but it's just like I'm getting hit from every corner in my life. People are in my life that was supposed to be sent to protect me is the main ones that's trying to break me. The main person that loved the heck out of me, they made sure that they didn't never get in contact with me because of financial, situations that they didn't feel like I deserved, but they felt like they did. And it was just like I had to really allow myself to see they weren't loved coming up in their life. My mom's ex-husband. My mom went through the same thing with her family, and so did, my mom's ex-husband's wife. They all went through a certain line of toxic situations with their family growing up, their upbringing. It was very abusive. It was very negative. They were like, what do they call it? Spoil the rod. What is it? Spoil the child and not spoil the rod, or whatever that thing is. Basically, it was like very, very intense in their lives. So when I had a parent that wasn't, that didn't have rights to me, but just wanted to be in my life, he loved me. He would do anything for me. They knew that. He used to write through the songs, and they made sure I didn't hear them songs either, just to make me know that those connections were still real. And they envied that, so they made sure that he was tortured as well as me over something that had neither no, didn't have nothing to do with us. But it's just the fact is what we represented. They never had a chance to have with their parents. So I had to really allow myself to just really see this for what it is, for so I can be able to allow myself to eliminate that anger, eliminate that rage towards them. They never felt that love, and they envied you for that, because that man loved the hell out of you, and they knew that. you know. And it is just through all these situations I've connected with so many people. We have shared so many experiences in our lives that, when you tell your story, you're like, God, dog, made me feel like, I'm like, dang, I thought my life was bad, and it was just like, well, what was I watching yesterday? Reaction Time yesterday. And he had a video, was like, what's the saddest thing that anything has ever been said to you? And I had to turn that video off because it was like I felt all that pain them people were holding on to, or what has been said to them, either if it wasn't from a parent or from a brother or sister or from a teacher or a classmate. You can tell that really stuck with them, but yet they tried to move on. And it's just like those things that have hurt you, that was really sent to break you down. That's how them people thought about themselves, but they had to reflect that towards you. And a lot of times when we're, it's just like when we connect with folks like that are very toxic, there's something about that person that mirrors us in some kind of way, or there's certain things that we need to be reminded of ourselves. That's why I try, even with my toxic relationships and, my family, they were coming in from broken vibes, from what has taken place in their life that you really truly need to heal from. Because I've been doing a lot of meditation and listening. I forgot what is that guru's name. It's Eric, but I know his name is Siri something, but it's hard to pronounce his name. But he has this positive aura about him, and I've been using a lot of, his with his and Steve Noble's meditation has really been helping me center myself, you know. Because when you have gone through that much sadness in life, like I always tell people, when you really know my story, and it's like I just shared a snippet of things that I went through, even though that was a lot. There's a lot of things that I didn't really speak on because it was too painful to even want to reflect with that. And it's just like, you don't have to keep telling your story about this. This is what got you towards that path of enlightenment to help you heal and help you connect with people. But you don't have to keep allowing yourself to relive those things that those people have placed on you. These are the things that, had to take place in your life to break you away from that cycle of the things that they have created within you. Because when you allow yourself to not break that cycle, you become them. We don't need all that. They already got enough daggone thousand generations that are knocked off, to where when we break those chains, when you say our ancestors are going to be so emotionally proud of us, because and they already are anyway, because you're enduring so much and you're still trying to allow yourself to find a peace within that transformation. It's hard. Heck yeah, it's hard. It's not supposed to be easy, because if it was, you wouldn't be able to, you know, be grateful for anything, or being able to see what you're capable of overcoming. What do you have allowed? What can break you to the point where you still gonna rise anyway? There's a lot of people. There's no struggle without success. It's not. And it's just like, I remember I was putting me some get me some new thumbnails, and I found a whole bunch of them with Heath Ledger as being a Joker, and he says, struggle didn't come without success, and that word always comes, like that. Even in the dictionary, struggle comes before success, and which it is true. I was like, damn, that was deep. But it is. When you get to success, is because, I mean, if you're that type of person that's been blessed like that, to be able to walk into blessings like that and really never had to really work hard for it, it's different when something's given to you, and it makes a very big difference when you have earned what has been given to you, because then you'll try to maintain that. Then you'll do anything in your power to make sure you can add towards that and keep that as a steady flow. And a lot of times I used to get mad because even when people knew my truth about what was taking place, they choose to turn their back because they felt like that wasn't something I deserve, or they felt like all they were seeing the monetary value of what my dad stood for, my dad's net worth. They didn't see it as a parent want to see their child, or a daughter wanting to get closure from what people try to keep her away from. All they saw is that 3D level of, oh, she gets to go, Paisley Park or whatever, she inherits this and this and this and that. And and it's like that was the nightmare, that it was so hard for me to be able to allow myself to separate from. And it was like people manipulated, people put up speed bumps, people put up, distractions to me because because they felt some kind of way. I didn't deserve that. That's what you're deserving. You're going to feel some type of way. And people don't see it like that. When that shoe comes on the other foot, on what you do to people, don't expect for you to block somebody else's blessings and thinking yours going to come flowing in. Negative impacts don't have positive, outcomes. It doesn't. No matter what you thinking it is, it's not, everything is not what it seems. So you had to be able to endure these things. You had to be able to go through them and see what all these bad experiences, what it has brought in you. Because when you know you've become stronger, when you know you've become better, even though a lot of times you're not really where you want to be at, and there's people around you that's getting blessings left and right. Yeah, it's hard to hear that, especially when you know you've been working hard. But you have to understand, you don't know what they had to sacrifice. You don't know what they had to let go of, what they had to part ways with. People are only gonna know what they want. People are only gonna let you know what they want you to know, because they know it's not even. They're gonna be people that are not gonna truly support them. Be like, oh yeah, them supporting haters. They are already fans because they already think you better when they had to sit up here and try to disrupt everything. But and there's going to be people that are really happy for you, but they're going to have that energy. It's like, damn, why did my blessings come through like that? And just for you opening up that towards them, it's going to block your blessings too, because that energy is so powerful where they're comparing their life to your life, your journey to their journey. And it's just like, when people come to me, I'm happy for them, even though I want that for myself. But you have to be able to congratulate them on their blessings like you getting yours. Because when you that only takes that one little incident where you side eyeing somebody like, I don't want to hear that, or whatever. You don't realize you're blocking your own blessing, because you already know what it felt like for somebody to feel some type of way about what you're getting. But when things starting to come to you about the same thing that other people are going through, that's just basically telling you, this is preparing you for what you're going to come up next for. So you have to be able to allow yourself to see that bad experience that's going to take you to your highest good. Because when you finally get out of that situation, you finally detach from whatever was holding you back, you're going to feel this strength that, you're going to be that phoenix that just flies out the ash. you know and then you're going to understand, yes, I understand why I had to go through these hard times. Yes, I understand I had to make these sacrifices, because it's just like they want to make sure you're aligned with what you're trying to bring into your life. If you sit up here hating on other people, or you're trying to use deceptive situations to try to deviate somebody else from their greatest good, baby, it's going to take a good minute before your blessings come around. Because when you're doing little negative things in people's life because you're feeling some type of way, even towards the people that try to block me, I ain't gonna wish nothing bad on you, because I already feel like whatever you're doing, you're already hurting yourself. You already speaking and flowing through your pain, but you also needed that healing just like I did. But if you're going all the way out your way to do that, oh, trust, everything has a reason on coming back to you. Whatever you pushed out towards people, it comes back, and sometimes it comes back sooner than you thought it would. But it's just like anybody I've dealt with a bad experience, I just say, I hope and pray that they heal from whatever they need to heal from what they tried to press out on me. you know, and so I can just allow myself to keep going, even though it may be hard when people have done things to you. You have to understand, you were speaking through your truth, you were speaking through your goodness, you were speaking through your blessings to bless them with your knowledge. We're all learning and teaching from each other. We're all students and teachers. You're teaching other people your words of wisdom, just like you're doing towards others as well. But trust and believe everything that you're going through, no matter how hard it may seem, no matter how unclear things are. You never know what's going on behind the scenes for you. You never know when even when you're struggling, when you're hurting. I've been through those times. I can be really up in here full of tears. But when somebody reaches out to me and saying, Rosalind, I don't know if I can go on, I'm just tired of all these things, I still send words of wisdom to you. And that's why I'm speaking out of love, because I know what it feels like to have that world against you. I know where it feels like, where everybody is trying to make sure that you suffer more than you can be able to be uplifted. So I love to be able to send people words of wisdom when they're enduring different things like that, because I know, I know, and then it allows me to understand why I had to go through certain things. Because when you're aiming for a good cause, when you're aiming towards difference, a better change in life, you had to endure a lot of things that you never want to see other people go through. When you have gone through that, and you know what it made you feel like, and you know how things could have been for you, but it wasn't. you're going to try to make sure you can spread that towards other people, because you never want them to endure that. You never want them to feel that way. So that's how we have to go through these things that we're going through. But I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video. I'm gonna probably try to do one or two more. I'm just trying to see, because my energy is powerful, but yet, when I'm connecting with the universe like that, that's a push and pull situation and kind of drains you. So I would love to give a post notification shout out to Susan Osborne. Much love to you, sis. As well as Jackie Love as well. Brett, Gabriel, Lydia, much love to you as well. Netta, as well as, let me see, in Georgia, They Ready. Much love to you as well, and King Heyoka. If this is you're new to the channel, you know, uh, make sure you drop a line. I would love to give you a post notification shout out. Um, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop me a line, share, tell someone about the channel. They may find something interesting. If you need to get in touch with me privately, you can find me at Facebook Messenger. You don't have to have the actual Facebook to get Messenger. Send me a little short text, let me know you connect with me here on the part of the Heyoka family YouTube channel, whatever. Let me know your spiritual inquiries or whatever. Just don't say hey or thank you, because I feel like that's, somebody's just trying to, trigger me to come in my life. So I'm not really, responding and stuff like that. Tell me what your interest is and what you need help with when it comes to your spiritual purpose, or, your deep understanding about your mission of purpose as well. And whatever we speak on is confidential. So know you're truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. I pray that everything that you're trying to manifest in your life comes 100,000 times more than what you expected or even asked and prayed for. And it comes so much sooner than you expected as well. Even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, as well as prosperity words, vibes, frequencies. And you never know, those things really take somebody a long way. And I hope y'all enjoy your weekend. Much love to you. Peace. Be well.